Dion Michael Ashman here for OurGang62.com and OurGangITVNet.com. And I'm just incredibly pleased to have here Regina Jackson, who's a independent marketing rep. Regina, how are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm better now. Okay? I'm better now because Regina and I talked about this for a long time, and we had so many times where we've just conversed about what to do, how to do what you want to do, and making things happen and creating real change in somebody's life. You've been able to get on the road to that and accomplish making changes in your life. And you've been able to do it in a specific way. Could you share some of that with the viewing audience?
Well, I just kind of figured out what it was I wanted in life. I knew I wanted more than just a job. I wanted more than just going back and forth a 9 to 5. I wanted to create a lifestyle. So what I did was I read a lot of books. I got educated. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
And Robert Kiyosaki.
Right, and it kind of changed my life as well as what side of the quadrant that I need to be on. And at that point, I started doing real estate. I have houses in Philadelphia, so I started becoming a real estate investor. But the market is kind of slow now, and then they want more money down, and the interest rates are higher. So I just tried to look for another vehicle that would get me to where I wanted to be, and that's why now I'm a marketing consultant.
Okay, so one of the things you said, you saw what side of the quadrant you were on.
Right.
For those folks who may not understand, well, what's the quadrant? You know, what is the quadrant that you're referring to? Could you break that down?
Well, it's a cash flow quadrant, and for anybody who didn't read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I definitely strongly suggest and recommend that you do it because it changed my life in terms of how money is made in this country. There's a quadrant, there's two sides of the equation where you can be an employee, self-employed, a business owner, or an investor. And wealthy people are on the business side and the investment side, where middle-class people, where they're working for money, or as an employee and a self-employed. So I just, at that point, you have to make a decision as to what side of the quadrant you want to be on, and I decided that I want to be a business owner and an investor.
So what's the difference then between, say, somebody who's a independent business owner and somebody who's self-employed? What's the difference?
Well, a self-employed, your money is still attached to your efforts. If you can't walk away and still make money without you being there, then you're kind of still enslaved, so to speak. You're not an employee, you're working for yourself, but your money is still made on your efforts, which means you can't take vacations, you can't be away, you still don't have your time back. I wanted my time back, and if you can invest your money and put it in something that's going to bring you money, then you can have your time plus money, and that's what I wanted.
One of the things that I see is that there's a degree of certainty that's there. And I saw you on a number of occasions give the presentation, and you have that certainty. You have that, like, belief
Right.
that you know that what you're sharing is this is real, this works, and I'm going to continue to do this over and over again. How did you develop that? How did that come about for you? I mean, I know you said you read, but what was it? What was that? How did the light bulb get turned on for you?
Because there are wealthy people in this country, and the only reason that they're wealthy and some people aren't is because of the information that they have. And the information is free. If you go out there and get it, you can have it. And like I said, when I read that book, it kind of just led me to want to continue to gain more information on how to be wealthy and how to educate people on wealth. There's different wealth principles that the wealthy people follow that middle class or people with jobs don't. So my job right now is just kind of educate people to let you know that you can definitely become wealthy. Wealthy people aren't special. They're not smarter. They just do things different than we do, and they have information that we don't have.
Right.
So I just want to share that with as many people as I possibly can now.
So you mentioned the operative word. Well, first you said quadrant, and you said vehicle. So what's the vehicle that you actually chose that you felt could take you from the square that you're on and take you in the direction that you're going?
But right now, the vehicle that I have is called T&I. I'm involved in a company, and I'm involved in a company with a certain team of individuals, which is called the MAD team. The MAD team means making a difference, and what we do is we re-educate people on wealth concepts, put them in a position that they can learn it, and then give them the vehicle to use it as well. You can go to a lot of seminars on how to be rich, you get a lot of information, but when you leave, you still don't have the vehicle in order to do it. So what we do is we give you the information, and at that same time provide you with the how-to, the step-by-step. We'll walk you through the process so that you can start to generate generational wealth, and just additional income if that's what you want it to be. So it's a lot of information out there, but if you don't have the ability to apply the information, then sometimes you end up with all of this knowledge and you end up in the same spot over and over again, and people just feel that they need to keep getting more knowledge because they're not moving, but actually you need to apply the knowledge that you have and you'll see a difference in your life. I worked for corporate America, been in there 20 years, got my degree, got my certifications, went to work, was a very good employee, did well, but at the end of the day, what I did really didn't affect people's lives. It didn't make a difference in their thought process or what their economic status would be. And now what I do is I can go in there and I can give people information where I can see them change their lives, the lives of their children, the lives of generation. And it's just every day I wake up, I have a purpose now. I have a purpose to go out there and teach people who want to be taught and to let them know that there is a better life out there if you too in fact want one. So it's definitely giving me a whole perspective, a new perspective on life, and my whole focus right now is to just help as many people as I can become financially free and financially educated.
And the acronym for MAD, as you mentioned, is making a difference.
Right, making a difference.
You have some additional goals in terms of making a difference with young people.
Right, absolutely.
Would you like to share that with the audience?
Well, I used to go to a camp called Camp Menacing for years. I grew up in camp. It's changed my life. My best friends are coming from camp. And I just always wanted to be able to go back and just run a camp or own a camp. So last summer I took off a week of work, went up and I was a camp counselor, and it was the best time I've had in my adult life. So at that point I realized that that was my calling, and the vehicle that I'm using now with T&I and the MAD team will give me enough money that even if I can't own my own camp, I can definitely sponsor kids, sponsor programs, and just give back to the younger people, because if we could educate our young people about financial education, financial freedom, then they won't get into the same money problems that we have. So my whole focus would be to have kind of a financial camp where you teach children how to make money and just own their own businesses, become entrepreneurs, so that when they grow up they don't necessarily have to work for money, but they understand the concepts of money working for them. So that's one of my major goals, is to be able to go back and just give back to Camp Menacing for the most part. Menacing Spirit, they actually
Menacing
have a
Spirit.
Yeah, they have a Menacing Spirit now, so that's what I want to do.
Okay, well, you heard it right here. This is OurGang62.com, OurGangITVNet.com. This is Regina Jackson. We call it Action Jackson. Right? Listen, if they want to get in contact with you, how can they do that?
Well, my email address is reginajackson402@gmail.com. You can send me an email, tell me that you're interested, and then we can definitely put you in front of some information as far as what the MAD team is doing and just financial education.
You heard it right here. We'll be back with more, and you'll be seeing a lot more of Regina. Thank you for joining us. Stay strong and hold tight.